Alright, so what we've got here is one of the old-timey washers. I've bypassed several things on it. I need to bypass that solenoid just so it doesn't buzz. I've taped a jar full of sand and the coins in there. You can see the quarter is just about silverish again. You can see the time starting to come back. Pennies, you can see they're a little bit rubbed on the edge. I suppose they'll look different. And you can see they've come pretty clean. I don't see any reason why these wouldn't pass. The dime is still a little reddish, but anybody can tell it's a dime and it doesn't have dirt all over it. But it was quick and easy. I would suggest using a plastic canister, like maybe a coffee can, one of the plastic ones. If you have a washing machine with that kind of agitation, seems to work pretty well. Okay, so I've gone with smaller bottles, or I've gone with 2 small pill bottles. One's got pennies, the other has the dimes and a few quarters that have already been, well, all of them been run. But these are milder abrasives. I've got baking soda and Comet in there. So I want to see how well it does. I'm sure it won't work nearly as fast, but I'm sure that the sand is a little bit hard on the coins, depending on how long you run it. So we'll see what happens. All right, so this is I set up for this deal. Oh, by the way, I ran water and I was going to do a small load. So I'll go ahead and put the clothes around there. There's a few t-shirts and some grungy britches. But I've taped these on here. Our abrasive is just baking soda and Comet. I'm sure it probably won't clean as fast, but I want to see what it does as far as a finishing touch. All I care about is getting the coins clean enough that I can just take them to the bank. I mean, I don't want to pour dirt in their machine. That's just all there is to it. Or I don't want to pour coins that's still packed with dirt. So I've got about a whole mason jar full of change I'd like to take in. So let me see how this goes with these little plastic bottles. Plus I'll get my laundry clean. I have a rainwater caption system. So I pumped my rainwater in there, drained it in. I got tanks overhead. But I drained it in there last night. I forgot about it. So one thing this thing does, you can see, so let me see if I can do it here. Got sand in the lid. It pumps water. See? The duct tape won't let go. You know how tough the stuff is, so. Here it is. This out of the machine. I'm not expecting a whole lot. Just because the abrasive is so mild. However, I could be wrong. Let me get the pan. We'll dump it out. I left the other one on. Let me go ahead and flush it. That's about a half hour on there. And these were just pennies. Dirty pennies. These have not been treated at all. Oh, I did throw a quarter, and yeah, you're just not going to get the abrasion. So I'm going to go ahead and put sand in that. Let me see if I can get you here. It didn't have much effect. The Sacagawea is a little cleaner, I guess. Or no, it's Presidential. Presidential is a little cleaner, I'm surprised. I might just leave that. But I am going to go ahead and add some sand. I'll pour some of the solution back in. And then I'm going to add sand. I'll leave the other one as is. I'll have to run it several times. I'm going to run this one more time. Like I said, these pennies were dirty. They had no treatment at all. You can experiment with abrasives, obviously. I mean, you can't get much finer than baking soda. So, here's the sand. I'm going to go ahead and don't forget to leave space. It has to slosh. So, make sure the camera doesn't fall in here. Let me turn my light on. Like I said, that's still taped there. So let me dry it off and put a few more around it. That washing machine, I mean, it's just something I went out and changed out a washer for somebody, and I said, well, can I keep the old one? I was going to scrap it out. It doesn't spin right. I've looked at everything, pulleys, weights. I'm not sure why it won't. So we'll dry this off a little bit and retape it. Boy, that's dirty water. I get my clothes so dirty. I'm sure you do too. Okay, so we'll tape that in there. Oh, I forgot to dry the bottle off. I think we'll get it to stay. So we're going to move it tiny over here. Okay, so it's going to slosh. Let me show you again, just so you know. I can push the safety here. There she goes. Not 2-speed. But if you set it on normal, it'll run high speed. Okay, so I got them out. Let me see. I don't know which is which. Give it a dump. Turn the lights on. Supposed to be a little good now. Let me see here. Yeah, this is the sand. That's probably another half hour. That looks pretty good. That quarter was dug last night. That's got a half hour on it. And again, a tighter space. Either less coins or a bigger jar. Did not do a very good job with sand in a small container. So I'm going to put them in a big one and do it right. I thought I'd give it a try. I mean, they are cleaner, but just not, there's not enough room in there. So, but not much effect. This was all dimes, and you can see that, and that's just abrasive Comet and baking soda. Had very little effect on them. So I'm just going to put them all in here, and we're going to go back to what I was doing. I want to see how bright I can get them without destroying them with the sand, or making them look like they're worn down. So I'm going to pour the sand in, and we'll go ahead and water it up, and we'll let you know. I'd say this is a full 2 hours altogether with the other day. Got a color there going, that's for sure. I'd say it's probably copper. Okay, there's the dollar. Turned it pretty much silver. You can see that. I've had the screen the other way, I guess. All the dimes are pretty much silver. That one's still got orange to it. Let me just bring them out like this. If you just want them cleaned so you can get them to the bank, and you want to do it fast, I don't see anything wrong with this way. I mean, people can tell what they are. But if you want to restore them to the condition, you know, before they went in the ground, I'd say you'd have to get a tumbler and use all the different grits and take however long it takes. But I would say that's good enough to go to the bank. Even the other, just the 1 hour, was good enough, I thought. I mean, you can't tell they're dirty That's the main thing. You don't want them to have mud on them, and you want them to be able to tell what the coin is. Now the nickel is still off, but you can tell it's a nickel. So, okay, that's my rack. That's as good as it gets with that. I mean, the sand's going to damage them. That's all there is to it if we do any more. A finer grit, run it longer, would be the only thing, and that would probably be a rock tumbler. And of course you could use a washing machine too, but you're looking at a lot more electricity and probably more time. I don't think it'd be any faster than to buy a cheap rock tumbler for 20 or 30 bucks. All right.